Hello everyone, welcome to Lounge Talk with Miss Sunita. Lounge Talk is a weekly expression of opinions, ideas, and experiences from individuals making an impact in this world. The idea of Lounge Talk is to showcase the extraordinary steps these individuals have taken to make an impact in their world. Hello there. Welcome to the Lounge Talk with me, Sunita Siadeni Chinaka. And today I'm joined by Pastor Charles Phiri from Revival Christian Center. Pastor, sir, you're welcome.
Okay, thank you very much for hosting me.
Yes, sir. All right.
I'm glad to be on this show.
Thank you so much, Pastor, sir. Could you please tell us about yourself? Who is Pastor Charles Phiri?
Okay, Pastor Charles Phiri is a very humble pastor.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and appointed by God Himself. Okay, and pastor is married to Mainza Imbe with 2 kids. Okay, and I'm also running a ministry, like I mentioned earlier on, the so-called Revival Christian Center. Okay, and I'm also running a Mulumba engineering company. I'm not just the pastor alone.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm also the director of the same nation estate. Okay. This is what I can tell about myself.
All right. Thank you so much. Okay. Even as the topic for today, today on the Lounge Talk, we are talking about a king who was a shepherd, a poet, a giant killer, gracious, kind, and well-loved leader.
Okay.
His leadership philosophy carried him through such that even today he's still a role model to many. Many are looking up to him. Many have even named their children after this man. He's loved by both the young and the old. So his leadership philosophy was friendship and goodwill. He exercised that philosophy by doing good to someone who didn't even know him. He faced a lot of threats, hatred, almost killed by his successor. Yet he never followed in the footsteps of his successor. And this great leader is David. Today we are talking about leading like David. But before we go to the philosophy of David,
Okay.
Pastor, sir, in your own words, who is a leader?
Okay, leader is the one who has got the responsibility,
Okay.
to look after, many people or to lead people.
Yes.
That's a leader. Okay. A leader, I can define him as a steward. Yeah, this is all I can put it in my own words.
All right. Are they born or they are made?
Okay, leaders are being born.
Okay.
Leaders are not made. Something that is made, can fail to accomplish the mission.
Yes.
Yes, as they are meeting the task that is given. Okay. If I say something is born, it is like, I'll pick one of the leaders in the Bible. Before David succeeded that man, I can mention his name is Saul. The name of that man, you can call him Saul, the son of Cush.
Yes, sir.
Okay, but that man was, shepherding the flocks of his father, and one of the donkey, got astray. Now, it was God's purpose, to fetch for that man. Okay, after the missing of that donkey, because this is the leadership of King Saul was being appointed by Samuel himself. When they met, where Samuel came by the name of Shiloh, I think that's the place. Okay.
Okay. Before we go more in detail about David, you're running a ministry.
Yes.
Have you at some point you talk to the followers, the believers, that let's do this, they don't do it? Have you felt about giving up, where you just tell them, choose whom you serve today. Me and my household will serve the Lord. Have you reached at that level? Or have you gone through that where you have told them, and I think, just choose whom you serve?
Look, I've been through challenges
Yes, sir.
as the man of God,
Okay.
reaching to that point. Okay, it started, because this the so-called leadership was given to me a very long, I can say way back by God Himself. Even I was, at that small age, then God appointed me. So people sometimes fail to understand. This is the reason why when we tell people about, the things of God, they cannot meet, that point because when something is given, it comes within the art itself. So some people, you mentioned about hatred, you mentioned about so many things that
Yes,
David faced in his life. These are the things that I face in life. This is what made me as well to form up a church, the Bible Christian Center, because I was leading a church in Chifubu, and that church was, it went through persecutions. Okay, I was oppressed by so many people, by so many leaders, telling them the way to go, but they couldn't understand the way of God, because the church is all about, listening from what God is saying. It's not coming from our mind. It's not coming from our own, perspective. Yes, if you want to achieve like the way David achieved, David was a man who was listening from Jehovah God Himself. This is the reason why, he succeeded over his enemies. This is what I can say.
Okay. So what are some of the lessons that you learned from David as a leader?
Okay. The lessons that I learned, or I do learn, I'm still learning.
Yes, sir.
Okay, because that man, like you mentioned earlier on, to say David is a role model to many people.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Also, David is my role model. Even up to this time, I'm still learning so many things from that man. That man was a humble man. Whenever there is a mistake, he could go to God wholeheartedly and confess to say, Father, I'm wrong here. Please forgive me and put me in the right track. Okay? And, what I can talk about, what I can say more about David, David could not do things on his own. Whenever an issue has, popped up, David could go and ask the Lord. He can't go ahead to say, since something has come up, let me just do it on my own. No, David will not do that. David, can go further and ask God what to do for further instructions. So this is, what is making me more, flattered when it comes to David himself. Okay.
So some of to apply even the leadership of David today.
Yes.
They are working for you.
Yeah, they are working for me.
Yes, all right.
Yeah.
Okay. Now there's this statement that great leaders are ones who also know how to follow. Was that the case with David?
Yeah, great leaders should start from following.
Following, okay.
Yes. When I remember David was, picked from, leading or shepherding the flocks of his father. And, David was a man who was being despised by so many people. People thought like David can never do anything in his life. But God was not counting, such people. Okay. So David, has been counted as a man, who can manage the flocks. So since the man can manage the flocks, he can also manage a group, of people. So this is the reason why God chose David to be the ruler of his people, the so-called Israel. Yes.
Now there are many that are leading people.
Okay.
Yes. So in line with David, what can you tell them?
Okay.
Yes. In line with the leadership of David.
Okay. What I can tell people out there is that let them remain humble, because leadership is not all about leading people. Leadership is all about, get instruction from the above. Like Solomon, inquired of the Lord to give him wisdom. Yeah, like when we pick it from 1 Kings chapter 3, verse number 12. Solomon was, like he did the word of the Lord. And the Lord said, since you have done my word, let me give you what you were asking for. So the Lord gave him wisdom to lead, the people. So leadership is all about acquiring wisdom from the above, and then you initiate that wisdom in the lives of many people.
Okay.
Yes.
So apart from David, which other leader do you look up to and why?
Okay, the out of the Bible itself,
Yes, sir.
there are so many people like David Oyedepo.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm copying up. The leadership, the wisdom of that man.
Okay.
He inspires me a lot. That man came from a humble, just from the scratch. Okay, and then the Lord helped him because he was asking God for wisdom for more than 2 years, and then the Lord gave that man wisdom. So I'm following the very same, footsteps of the servant of God. So I can say I'm also a product of his books.
Wow.
So I'm learning the ministry through following, what God has been leading the great servant of God.
Okay. And how has reading of books from those you look up to, how has it helped you, the books?
Okay, it has helped me in so many ways.
Yes, sir.
Because looking at the leadership that we have here in Zambia, sometimes it does not encourage me a lot. That's why, I just came out from the blanket to say, let me just, go for people who have got, great wisdom. People, who have touched the heart of God. The people who runs, the great ministries. So this is the reason why I'm reading their books. Like I can give an example. So many businesses here in Africa, they are crushed because people don't go for knowledge. So it's important to go, for knowledge, for people who are above you, people who have achieved, great things in their lives, and then it will help us. So this is my cry, even for Zambians out there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, to say we should look up to or appreciate people who have gone far in life, and then it will help us. Okay.
Then in Acts chapter 13, verse 22, this is what God said about David. I have found David, son of Jesse, a man after my own heart. He will do everything I want him to do. So, Pastor Sir, how would you love to be remembered? David was remembered. God said, a man after my own heart. Even as people, we still remember David up to now.
Okay.
Yes, sir. How would you love to be remembered?
Okay, I would love to be remembered as the apostle of faith. Like I've passed through many traits, so many things, the devil can just, enter into someone's mind, someone's heart,
Yes,
just to frustrate my efforts. But I still, keep my faith before God Almighty. Okay, so people can remember me like, the apostle of faith, because I have so much faith upon God.
Wow.
Okay.
That's powerful indeed. That's so powerful. And others say last words, others say closing remarks, but here we say take away. So give us some words rather, that we're going to use. Take away. And we can remember.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Like our great leader, Nevas Mumba,
Yes, sir.
was saying, Zambia shall be saved. This was his campaign. Okay, but also I've got my own view.
Yes, sir.
Like I've got a campaign just to bring all Zambians to make sure that they see something great coming you know, from the servant of God, you know, a great sacrifice that we are doing. There are things that we are doing that people doesn't know, but we are praying by all means that God, you know, should exhibit, you know, the things that we are doing in the background. So my campaign is just to bring the audition to God, minus, you know, fearing anybody, just doing the will of the Father in heaven. These are my last, you know, remarks
All right.
that I can offer.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, Pastor Phiri, we thank you so much. Thank you so much for the powerful words, the encouragement, even the lessons that we have learned a lot, and many out there have learned a lot. We don't take your coming here for granted, but we really appreciate. Thank you so much.
Okay, I'm appreciating as well. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Pastor.
All right.
From speaking to Pastor Charles Phiri, you know, the founder of Revival Christian Center. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much that you took time, you know, to watch the Lounge Talk. Till next time, this has been the Lounge Talk with Sunita Siabini Chalaka. God bless you.